Hi, good morning.
Well, afternoon for me, but
Oh,
hey,
that's
what's
right.
going on?
Nothing much, nothing much. How did you find the episode?
um, I was absorbed by the Stephanie Ryan segments of this. Um,
Same. For me,
because
oh, go ahead,
so
sorry.
many things were revealed to me by actions on both parts.
Exactly. For me, it was Stephanie and Ryan, but it was also Natalie and Mike.
No, I'm not interested in that.
I'm only interested really because of the mom, to be honest. It was the mom, because the mom is no joke.
Yeah, but you need a third party mediator? I'm sorry. Stop.
But at
Just
least
go back home.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, but at least with this episode, they were actually like Natalie was finally honest about like why she was mad, and he was like, okay, she finally said it. I'm like, it's about time. I mean, but it shouldn't. Look, I agree with you. It shouldn't have took your mother to come in for you guys just to say that when we all could see it.
Hmm. Okay. Well, let's not give too much away. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the commentary zone. Today we are going to be talking about 90 Day Fiancé, season 8, episode 8, Unsure and Insecure. A brief summary of the episode. We see Stephanie going to visit Ryan in Belize. We see Mike's mom coming to visit him and Natalie on the farm. We see Julie have a total meltdown on Brandon's parents' farm and throws out an ultimatum. We see a surprise addition to Jovi and Yara's family, possibly, and he comes back home from being away for a month. And we see Amira back home in France and Andrew still in Mexico. Where do you want to dig in?
Let's see.
I want to save Stephanie and Ryan for last.
Okay, we just want to zap through based on the episode since there's not really
Let
much there.
Let's go through Mike and Natalie first, since we already started talking about them.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So his mom is coming for a visit, and his mom is from Oklahoma or lives in Oklahoma or something like that. She
Yeah.
comes to visit. He's super excited. Natalie is nervous because she hopes that this lady likes her. And it seems like she calls a spade a spade. She has no tolerance for BS. And in her confessional, she's brutally honest and says that she doesn't think it's going to work.
Hey, she's a good judge of a situation.
Um, they go out for dinner, and a little disagreement starts about butter. What do you think?
I mean, butter is its own food group. I don't know what Natalie's problem is. She needs to get over it. Butter goes with almost everything.
Oh my God. And then I just thought their segments were painful for me. And I know it's because I don't like this couple. I've never been invested. But regarding his mom playing the mediator, Natalie did have a little breakthrough, um, and admitted for the first time that she was wrong in the way how she tossed back the ring at Mike when he was in the Ukraine. And she came up with a really great solution: set a tentative date for the wedding so that her mom can apply for a visa to come over for the wedding, because that's important to her. If the wedding goes off, great. If it doesn't, her mom can take her back,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody got a vacation. Um, what
Exactly.
what did you think about this?
It was, how can I put this? It seems like Natalie communicates with motherly figures better than Mike, if that makes sense. Like how she is with her mother. Like she seemed much more open to Mike's mother's critiques than Mike's critiques or suggestions, which I found very interesting. But knowing how close she is to her mother, I can understand it.
See, I saw that differently. I thought it was a bit of hopeful manipulation on Natalie's part because she's like, if I can get his mom, Trish, on my side, then it'd be great.
That's any relationship though. In any relationship, you want to win over the parents, specifically the mothers. So how
Winning them over and getting them on my side is a little bit is two different things for me. Like you want to have a great relationship with your mother-in-law, but I don't think it's the same as wanting her on my side in the hopes that she would side with me to get him to do something, like give me back my ring.
I see where you're going, but to me, it's they kind of meld together because you need her on your side. Because if she's not on your side, you're not getting the ring. Period.
Honestly, I
So
it is
To me, Mike wants to marry her, but he's mad at her. That's really what it comes down to be honest. From my perspective,
then these are two children. Like they
correct,
couldn't get over this by themselves.
correct. Yes,
Natalie's made a concession as well. They've decided on the wedding date, which is April 3rd, which she thinks is good because it's the beginning of the month. It's not a number 2. It's a number 3, which coincides with her religious beliefs. And culturally, it's the beginning of the month. So it's a renewal part of the month. And she's also conceded not getting married in the church, but her reasoning is it wouldn't be real because he's not baptized, so she's going to give up um that part of her dream or whatever.
correct. But one thing I did like what she said. She said, "I have two choices. I can be married, or I can be right. I choose to be
Hmm.
married." I'm like, I'm not mad at that.
That was
I'm
the
not mad at that.
first sensical thing she said, if sensical is a word. um what I did appreciate was when Trish negotiates, setting the date and all of that at the dinner. Um, like Natalie has a little cathartic emotional meltdown. I didn't realize how much pent up frustration she had at being so uncertain about not having a date, not moving forward, and she just breaks down and she cries. I i thought it was good that she had that soul purging because maybe she can move forward in a less nasty tone.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's just because and I kind of blame both of them because they were both doing the same thing. They were both being immature.
Hmm.
They weren't being honest. I mean, and it shouldn't have took like we said, you shouldn't take your mom to come for you guys to get to that point, but it did. So that's where we are.
Yeah. And I only say that because his mom's not always going to be there. They're going to need to know how to
Hmm.
communicate on their own. You know, you're not always going to have a third party there to show you how stupid you are and the common sense, you know, to move forward. Um, but I think in saying that she had a bit of a release, um, Mike did too, because it went a real long way with him for her finally owning up and saying out loud that she was wrong for tossing the ring back at him. So I think that went a long way.
Oh, totally agree, 100%.
Okay. Anything else with this couple?
No,
Okay. So what about Brandon and Julie?
I mean, this may be an unpopular stance, but I'm Team Julia. I just am. I mean, she deserves better. Um, she shouldn't be out there slopping pigs and doing all that stuff, and that's not fair to her. And he needs to get it together.
I agree with you. Only because he didn't tell her ahead of time.
That's
If
the
he had
thing.
told her and explained to her what the deal was, I'm broke, I need to, save some cash so that we can start off on our own place, and for a 6-month period, we're going to have to live with my parents, and when you come here, we live on a farm, so we're going to expect you to pitch in and do your share. Are you in for that? That's the only reason why I'm agreeing with you. But if she knew about all of this, and she's still acting the fool, 1-800 Air Russia, and she'd go back.
Yeah, that's the thing. She did not know. She had no,
Hmm.
like you just said. That's the only reason I'm on her side, because she did
Hmm.
not know. Like it's like he trying to catfish her a little bit.
And it was building to this ultimatum that she gave him, because she goes out, she feeds the animals. I'm not sure. Like, does she do more than feed them? And how does she wind up with poop on her face? Like, I don't get it. If you have poop on yourself, why are you going to go and sit on the bed that you have to sleep in? Like, that's gross. But she calls her dad, and her dad tells her that Brandon needs to, like, man up. Um, and she then proceeds to call Brandon while he's at work, and he tries to shove her off, can we do this when I'm not at work? And she's like, no. And ends off that call saying, I hate you.
Right?
Ah.
Her dad was MVP for me though. He said all the
Again,
things.
common sense.
He said all the things I would say. Um, and he just was honest with her, and like this is what I see. And he didn't really disparage Brandon, which I really like. He was just saying, like, in this situation, this is what he needs to
Hmm.
do as the future head of your family. And that's what it is. I'm like, he didn't say anything bad. He didn't say he was a bad guy. He didn't say any of that. He just said, like, as your future husband, he needs to step it up. And
Yeah,
I
and he gave
appreciated that.
examples from when he got married. He said, when I married your mother, the next day we had our own little apartment. He has to be a man. And what was the expression he said? Two cooks in the kitchen or something?
Two cooks in the kitchen won't get along.
Correct. And he's right,
Hmm.
because these two women are fighting for dominance over this one boy. And he's very right. He did give her some good common sense advice. Um, she then takes it to Brandon, who I feel thinks everything can be easily brushed off or a joke. Um, he seems a little immature to me, but that's just my opinion on that. When he comes home after this horrible call with her, um, what do you think about that conversation that they have?
I was just like, he's how can I put it? I kind of felt that he really was trying to get her to see his side, or to put this to the side or something. It's hard to explain it properly, but it's like he
Mhm.
was really trying to make excuses overall, and she just
Mhm.
wasn't. And she just wasn't having it.
He's trying to brush her off again, because what's the first thing that comes out of his mouth? I don't understand why you can't get along with some cute little animals. Can't we just stay a little bit longer with my parents? Like, he's just pushing aside her feelings, and not understanding where she's coming from, or the fact that he's the cause of the problem, essentially. Well, that's how I see it.
Exactly. It's interesting to where he's saying, "Why can't we stay a little bit longer?" But he doesn't want to be there either.
And he doesn't want to do the chores either.
Right. He just wants
It's
to go to
very
work and come
weird.
home.
It's
But he
very,
doesn't.
very weird.
Right. But he doesn't want to. Like, he's not anxious to move out. I'm like, what's going? What's really going on with that?
Hmm. And he doesn't take it seriously until she says, I want to go back to Russia.
Exactly.
And then he's like, oh my God, this girl's serious. Okay, I'm going to talk to my parents. You had to push it that far? Really? And again, like, this is another person who is just not addressing the issues that they have. He's very good at brushing things to the side, or making light of situations until it comes to this. And I
Exactly.
feel bad for her.
You could tell he's kind of used to shirking things off, putting
Mhm.
them to the side, and that's how he's always been. Probably because his parents, specifically his mother, lets him get away with it. I can see his dad saying, "Well, I need you to do this." His mom like, "Oh, it's okay, I'll take care of it," or like, "He shouldn't be doing that." I could see his mom doing that to him, and
Mhm.
he's always had that. So when you have Julia coming along, she's like, "No, this is what I need, and I'm serious." So he can't shirk her off as easily.
Mhm. True, true. That's the perfect word to describe him. Someone who just shirks responsibility, confrontation, you know, adulthood. Um, he
Right?
shirks everything from me. Okay, so the next couple, we have Yovi and Yara, and she does the pregnancy test. It seems like she's pregnant. Um, she calls her friend in Ukraine to let her know and decides that she'll tell Yovi when he gets back home, which is soon.
Hmm.
Did you see the test? I've
I
been
didn't see the test.
hearing. I've been hearing like there's like people have seen the test and like there was a half a line or a whole line or it's supposed to be two lines. Like I don't know. I don't remember seeing
Hmm. I was looking for it. I'm like, I
test.
haven't. She showed her friend the test. She looked at the test.
Right.
The friend, she showed the test to the friend, but we as the audience, I didn't see the test. So I'm like,
Okay.
okay. I'm
I
like, this is
thought I
good
missed
sense.
something. Because have you been hearing the chatter about this? Because technically we're
Yes.
a day late on this. So you listen to other channels, what they're saying. And I
Yeah.
was like, wait, did I miss the test? Okay. All right. So we have something to look forward to with them. She heads off to the airport to meet him. Um, and she's waiting by the luggage carousel. Um, and she has to call him to find out where he is. He says the bathroom, but he comes with a drink in hand. So I bet you anything he was at the bar.
Right.
And it's 8:50 a.m. in the morning, and he's drinking brown liquor and Coke. Gotta love it.
I mean,
Ah.
yeah, that was too funny. She was so upset. I
But
mean,
she should be used to this by now, to be honest. Like, I don't think this is a new thing for him.
right. Oh no. I mean, he's a partier. He likes to do his thing. I mean, let's be real. He's been away for like 30 days working,
Hmm.
like making money.
Hmm.
And if he wants to have a drink, fine, whatever. Like as long as he's taking working, bills is paid, you
Hmm.
can't work. So I'm not sure what you're complaining about. So you need to let that go.
You know what? Speaking of work, there was one thing that I did admire in this girl. She's, to my recollection, the only person, male or female, that has come over to the United States and is focused on starting a business, working, or something like that. She says it over and over again.
Mhm.
And even to the point where she wants to start a business so that he can be a part of the business so that he doesn't have to go away again. Like this
Right.
girl isn't looking to just sit around and do nothing, which I can appreciate.
I think that's part of her frustration is that because she says it over, like, I can't work. Like, that's like the second thing out of her mouth or first thing. Like,
Hmm.
I can't work. I have no one to talk to, blah, blah, blah. I'm
Hmm.
like, she wants to work. That's like a good thing. Like, she wants interaction. She wants to do things. She has like a real goal. And it's not just to get a green
Hmm.
card. So now I'm intrigued by her. Like,
Yes, yes.
what kind of business do you want to start? What's your goal? Like, what do you want to do?
Well, I think she had a business in Ukraine, like a salon or something like that, hair and
Oh,
laser
wow.
something. She had something that occupied her time. Um, so like, and even if she didn't, as soon as she got there, she's like, she told the girl, Sarah, I want to open up a business like this, do makeup, do nails. Like she sees where she wants to go. So
Hmm.
I'm beginning to like her a little bit, and I hope she does open up like something. Wait, I hope she opens up something like a hair salon or something like that, so she can fix, the extensions and the coloration and all of those little issues that have been bothering us over these past few weeks.
You are too funny.
Okay, so what did you think about her deciding not to tell him and instead picking a fight about the drink?
I think she's just nervous because she feels
Mhm.
they're not ready. She just feels they're not ready, and she's just looking for anything to distract her from the possibility of her being pregnant. I
Okay.
think that's all that really is, to be honest.
Me too. Me too. Okay, our next couple, Andrew and Amira. Amira's back in France and Andrew's still in Mexico. We see Andrew, I noted, he's still at the resort. He has finally changed his clothes and he's eating ice cream, talking some nonsense about some family he sees on the beach. And I don't know. He's thinking of starting a family with Amira. Um, I found all of this laughable, what he was saying.
He annoyed me. I wanted him off my screen because
Mhm.
he said I'm sitting here eating this ice cream with two spoons. Amira will really enjoy this. I'm like, get out of here, get off my screen. Next.
Yes. Then we see him enjoying all of the luxuries of this resort. He's booking tours. We see him on a ATV tour. Then he gets some self-care at the spa. Um, like he's enjoying his vacation. Meanwhile, Amira lands back in France. Her dad picks her up at the airport. Um, and it seems kind of lopsided, the experiences between these two.
I mean, it's very disproportionate. He is chilling on the beach in the resort, living his best life. She's been like shipped out detained, shipped out the country, had to stay in another country for a day and then get back home. And the killing part is when she explained what happened, she saw like the reason why they sent her out of the country is because according to the filing was no passport, and they put that in the envelope with her passport. I was like, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, because she explained all that when she met with her dad after getting
Hmm.
home. I guess they went for lunch or something like that.
Drink. It was a
Yeah,
drink.
drink, and you could see the relief in having his child back physically with him. You know, she tells what she went through. That is horrible. And you're seeing him in a spa treatment. Like, really? Like, the producers are making this look really, really bad. But in essence, it is really bad.
It is. It's terrible.
And I cannot blame her dad for saying that he's not a man, because don't think I know he was limited with what he can do. I'm realistic about that. But to me, it doesn't look like he did anything.
I think, at least from my standpoint, the reason why I'm irritated and I don't particularly like him is because when he found out that she was detained in Mexico City, he didn't even attempt to go to Mexico City, and that was my issue.
First of all, I would have rendezvoused with her at the same airport
Right.
and then go over together to wherever we were supposed to go. But it just feels like he took the cheap man's way out in everything. And, I I feel bad for her. I really, really do, because she went through all of that for
Zero.
nothing other than abject humiliation.
I felt
Uh,
so horrible for her, but then again, I wouldn't have gone along with that harebrained scheme anyway.
yes, I think I put some of the blame on her for that because she went along with it. But then I wonder if what she's saying about him pressuring her into doing it is true. I'm giving that a grain of salt until we see more.
Right.
Um, so I'm also a little pissed off because when she's talking to her dad, she says that Andrew hasn't checked in on her to see if she's okay.
I don't think he
Really?
has. Not since that first.
When she was on the flight back to Europe,
Right.
to Amsterdam, he hasn't bothered. Like, it was a text. Are you okay, baby? And she said yes. And he was good with that.
Right.
Really? So once he's finished with all of his eating and ATVing and self-caring, he I think yeah, he goes back to the room and he calls her. But this also disturbed me because did you notice that he couldn't look at her on the phone?
Yeah, it was odd.
Why couldn't you look at her while talking to her? And then he says, we're probably going to have to try this in another country. Are you serious?
Right.
Um, the look on her face was priceless because it
Uh,
was just like, I don't think so.
right. And she's like, "Are you serious?" No.
Hmm. So hopefully she's smartening up with this. I would go get an appraisal on that ring. I don't think it's worth much, but I would go and get an appraisal on it and see if you could at least get something out of this disastrous relationship.
Agreed.
I think that's it for them. So now let's go to our favorite couple, the pièce de résistance. That was a tribute to Amira. Stephanie and Ryan.
I don't know what's up with them. They are, yeah. Mm-mm.
She's packing up. Takes place last October. Belize opened up their borders. She's packing up. She's got a whole suitcase for him. She's got clothes, she's got shoes, she's got 12 watches. Why? He's only got 2 wrists. Um, and she's taken her own engagement ring, and it's the ring that her father gave her mother.
Which I like, but ma'am, why are you buying him a $3,000 watch? I'm sorry.
And we
Three
also
thousand
find
dollars.
out that Ryan has never officially proposed to her. So how are they engaged?
That, and did you hear him say that the gifts are cool, but I'd rather have the money? I'm like, okay,
Yes.
red flag, abort.
Yes. And the next red flag is, I know we're skipping ahead, but when she gives him that ring, did you see how he was looking at it?
Right, like,
He
oh,
was sizing it up to see if he can sell it and how much he could get for it. And then when she was giving him the watches, she said, please don't lose these, especially when she gave him the $3,000 one. You know how you always lose things. He's not losing stuff,
losing the
boo.
no,
He's selling them.
right.
And that's why he would prefer the money instead of the gifts because, you know, he's getting these things fine, but it's a hassle to go and sell them in order to get the cash when he could so easily get cash from her and cut out the middle
The
part.
middleman. Here's my
Mhm.
thing: is like you're paying him a nice salary for Belize, I guess. You're supporting his family. Why, like, what does he need extra money for? I'm very curious to know what he's doing because if he's selling these items, where's all this extra money going to? So she's taking care of all the bills.
Um, it's a side hustle, like a second job. You bring things like okay, so I know people who buy stuff all the time, take it back down to Barbados, and then resell it. It's just a side hustle. And I think that's what he's doing. He's milking her for everything that he can get.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, is he saving the money or where's the money
Probably
going?
not. Probably partying or something like that, or, living it up with other women. Um, he's got it made in Belize. I'm surprised that he actually like wants to come to the US, unless of course he feels like he can get more cash coming into the US.
Right. And here's my thing. Can we talk about the cell phone situation?
Mhm.
Do we really believe that's his main phone?
It might not be, or
Mhm.
he just deleted everything before he gave it to her because he knew how she operates.
Right. Because she was so happy. Like, she's like, can I see your phone? She's going through it, blah, blah, blah. And then I guess they were at dinner, and she's like, I was surprised that she's like, let me see your phone. He's like, I'm just trying to like show you, like, you could trust me, whatever, whatever.
Mhm.
And she's like, did you, and she even alluded to, did you like do something to the phone to work because you knew I was going to ask? He's like, no,
Yes, he
no.
did. Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
we know he did.
didn't when she slept with Harris, wasn't the argument about her seeing text or something on his phone?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so
If I
he's not
recall.
stupid. After that, he wants to keep her on the hook. So every time he has, a text or call or whatever, he probably just goes in and deletes it. And it's been a good habit to have.
I just don't think that's his main phone.
I don't know.
I
She's
really
probably
don't.
paying for that one.
Because if he's like cheating or whatever, he
Mhm.
has a backup phone. Because it's not like she called the number and that phone rang.
Mm.
So he could put any phone. He could put any phone in front of her and be like, hey, here, go ahead, look. And he's all good. So I want to see what's really going on with that phone. I'm
Yeah.
curious now.
Now you've got me curious about that. I just felt he just like deletes everything on the phone that he needs to and keeps it clean. But we he's got a lot of money that he can play with. So there is a possibility that he does have a real alternative phone where he does all his dirty business on.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's easy because all you have to do is get a phone someone else's name and have the phone.
Not even, because how much you want to bet she's paying for that phone? So she probably went down to the cell company and organized it because she probably wants to be in charge of access to it. And then he could go with his normal, go and get one under his name.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
I
And
get what you're saying.
you can have multiple lines with the same company, cell service. I've done that. And on my phone, I have Google Voice for business and then my regular cell line for personal. So there's a lot of options available to him to sneak around.
True.
Okay, so they, she was so gross with the condoms and admitting to having sex 4 times a night. Ew.
Yeah.
Her cooch must be rubbed raw because she's of an advanced age. I hope she brought some KY jelly with her to help lube it up a little bit because that just seems very invigorating and painful at the same time.
But when he said that she's overaged, but she keeps up, I'm like, okay.
Yes.
I hollered. I'm sorry.
Like he has no respect for this woman whatsoever.
None.
You know what that reminded me of? Who was it that said, oh, um, Azan, who said that the blonde haired chick, she was she was okay. Like if he was attracted to her and he was like 50% attracted or something like that.
On the
It was
pole.
just yeah, it was just the little derogatory digs at these insecure women are so telling of what the men's real objectives are.
True.
Okay, so glow in the dark condoms. Oh, she told her age. She said instead of saying condoms, she said rubbers. Like that's something my
Right.
mom says.
He's so funny. He's so funny.
um So what else happened with them? They have a dinner. Oh God, the dress that she wore to that dinner. It
Mm,
looked like the fringe from Grandma's curtains at the bordello.
right. That sound like bad, very bad macrame.
Hmm.
Wasn't the business.
But similar to something that we saw in the Nalidi's fashion show.
True.
Remember that fringe outfit?
Yes. We're like, no,
What
never
is
again.
that? Oh my God. But yeah, he thought she looked great. And they went to dinner. And she proceeds to give him her mother's ring, where he sizes it up and sees what he can get for it and tells him not to lose it. I hope he
Yes,
didn't lose her mom's ring or
me
sell it
too.
or something, because
Here's my
that would
thing.
be devastating. I know he's hustling her, but something as sentimental as that, I hope she gets that back.
Here's my thing. Is it me or did it come off real thirsty? Like very parched. Like she was begging for a
Yeah,
proposal.
yeah,
Okay.
basically. Yeah.
Okay. It's not me. Okay.
She like, how else is she supposed to get a proposal if she doesn't supply the equipment?
I just want to make sure I didn't like misread her. 'Cause I feel like, ma'am, you're very thirsty right now.
And in
Very
addition to that, she's also stating to him, "Well, I know you can't give me what I want ring-wise, so I'm just gonna give it to you and you can give it back to me."
ugh.
Let's not forget her role in this,
No, that's completely fair.
because she's just basically buying this boy.
Basically.
And of course, she brings up the issue regarding she has to find a time to tell him that she slept with his cousin Harris. I wonder if she's going to do that before or after the proposal.
Right. Just a
Jesus,
smidge. Just a smidge. Just to tell him.
just so stupid. But yeah, I think we've covered everyone. Um, this was a semi decent episode. I was only interested in three of the couples, to be quite honest, but I've been that way since we started this season. What is your like thoughts on this episode?
My thing, it was solid. It was for what we've been getting. This was solid. So I
Mhm.
wasn't mad at it. You know what I mean? I wasn't like pissed.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna need TLC to do better with their scheduling. Like these should only be hour shows because it's hard to suffer through. Like it's hard suffering through these hours because it's like, dude, like even like watching a TLC go, even sitting through it an hour and 20 minutes of that was hard. So
Yeah, it is. It is, but hopefully it's wrapping up, because I mean, like, this was episode 8, right? We should be halfway through.
at least, yeah, I would think
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so and the preview for next week looks pretty good. With
Yes,
Yara and Yovi. Yovi questioning how could she be pregnant?
right. I was like, sir, that's
And
rude.
yeah, but I think this will be a good lesson for her, because always take multiple tests. I don't know,
Hmm.
maybe, and
Go
show them
to
to us on the camera so that we can back you up.
and go to the doctor too.
I think probably she would wait for him to come back home to do that, just because if,
Okay.
her losing the first baby,
Mm,
and she's new to the city, and she probably doesn't have a doctor, she would need him to recommend that. Like, yeah, I would want him to be there just
fair,
because of her history. But
fair.
that's giving her the benefit of the doubt.
As we should. As we
Yeah.
should.
All right. That is the 90 Day Fiancé Season 8, Episode 8, Unsure and Insecure. If you like our content, please hit thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can be alerted to every time we put out a video. And please comment below, because I think we had a lot of great scenes in this episode. And let us know your thoughts in the comments on what you think about any of this cast of characters. Until next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.